Welcome back, and this video is going to talk about representativeness. This is a piggyback continuation of our type 1, type 2 ways of thinking, and you're going to see here with this representativeness, we're going to once again see that tendency. I'll make sure I spell that right. Our tendency for our type 1 thinker to step in, say, I've got this. And we're going to say, wait a minute. No, this is a question for type 2 to handle. Okay? So this is, formally speaking, says we judge probabilities by the degree to which A is representative of B. That is, by the degree to A which resembles B. There's your textbook definition. May I jump in and provide an alternative one that makes more sense? We see patterns where they don't exist. We interpret patterns where they don't exist. So let me ask you this question here. Jim is a lottery winner. Option B, Jim is a happy lottery winner. Which one, A or B, is more likely? Now, Jim is a lottery winner or Jim is a happy lottery winner? Well, usually people go, the type 1, now remember, let's think about that. What does type 1 say? Type 1 has a tendency of going, well, yeah, that makes more sense. Jim is a happy lottery winner. That makes a lot more sense than Jim being a lottery winner. So type 1 would say B. Type 2, though, let's override this and think what that could be. Which one is more likely? Or which one is technically more likely? Well, technically, A is more likely. Because if we really jump in and think about it, Jim could be a happy lottery winner here. He could be an unhappy lottery winner. He could be miserable or happy or sad, or anything in this. But because we saw something specific here, we saw a pattern and we made that association right away. This is, by the way, called the conjunction fallacy. A conjunction fallacy. And this is when we believe a some combination of events are more likely than one of the events. Some combo of events is more likely than one event. And this is our conjunction, because it just seems more believable. It seems more likely, more things are happening. But when we have the blanket statement, actually is mathematically more likely for that to happen. Number 2. Let's do another example here. If you don't believe me, I usually have students try to write down words ending in blank and blank. Blank and blank. 20 seconds, write as many words down as you can. And then once we're done, say, okay, now write as many words as you can ending in ing. And of course, that is more accessible because you can start thinking of all the verbs and all the different things that end in ing. But when we think about which one is more likely or which one has more options available to you, and you go, well, it's this one. Type 1 thinker is like, yeah, come on, this one. Type 2 thinker has to go and say, wait a minute, you could do ing here to all of these words. And then you can have like ine, just even that. Fine, dine, wine, that is, so type 1 says this. Type 2 in reality has to step in and go, yeah, well, that's all INGs plus a number of different other options. So that's the conjunction fallacy, a couple different areas there. Next, we have what is called the hot hand phenomenon. You might have heard that. Hot hand phenomenon. Now, I know I'm a bit old school here, but if you've ever played the old basketball arcade game called NBA Jam, where you have, if you make a shot, you make 2 shots in a row, the announcer says he's heating up. And then if somebody can make 3 shots in a row, the announcer says he's on fire. And the ball turns into fire, and the basketball becomes a superhero that can do somersault dunks and throw up any shot that they want, and it all goes in because he's on fire. It's all built on this hot hand phenomenon, where we believe if somebody has made a certain number of shots in a row, or a certain number of, more broadly, successes in a row, then they are going to continue to be successful. Obviously, in basketball or in sports, you start seeing a pattern. He's made 3 shots in a row. Give him the ball. He's on fire. You can do whatever you want. Same thing, though, we would see with stock picking. Oh, somebody's had a really good track record on picking 3 stocks in a row. They're on fire. Let's continue to take their advice. Even though, let's be honest, that's where our type 1 goes. Okay, we see a pattern here. They're going to continue to stay hot. Type 2 has to step in and go, wait a minute. If this shooter is 25%, if he's a 25% shooter, he's made 3 in a row, that's good. But what is the likelihood of the next shot? Well, type 2 should be able to say that's about 25%. And same thing, if I had a coin that I was flipping and I flipped 3 heads in a row, what do you think the probability of the next one is? Am I a fantastic head flipper or I have this phenomenal skill? No, it's 50%. But again, we like to see patterns where they don't exist. In stocks, we see, if you watched my Introduction to Efficient Markets, we talk a lot about momentum investing. And that is driven from this hot hand phenomenon. Something has been hot, it'll continue to be hot, at least for the short term. And so there's our hot hand phenomenon. And then conversely, what's interesting here is we have what is called the gambler's fallacy. So this is where, if we're at a roulette table and we spin the table and it's been black for 3 times in a row, what we end up doing is we take the opposite. So we detect the pattern, but then we make a different conclusion where we take the opposite side and all the money goes to red. So what's our thought process behind that? Well, we see this pattern and we think that the other side is due for one. They're well overdue. Oh, you can't have 4 in a row. There's no way. It has to come back. So in both of these, we're seeing patterns, and then the difference is what we actually do with that information. Hot hand, we follow the trend. Gambler's fallacy is where we take the opposite and we say, you're due, and so I'm going to put either my money or my support on the other side. Anybody played baseball, been on a cold streak? What do people tell you? Oh, you're due for a hit. You're due for a hit. That's gambler's fallacy. And so I will leave it at that. I've got a lot of good sports stories to share, but I will stop right there and refrain. Have a great one, and I will see you on the next video.